This is TWiT.
So now I'm trying to decide if I want to be rigid in our chronology and just go month to month. I think maybe not. Well, I think we're going to jump ahead to May when Microsoft unveiled the Copilot Plus PCs. Of course, Microsoft had been pushing Copilot for some time, and it was with these Copilot Plus PCs we were supposed to get Microsoft Recall. The article that kind of got everybody up in arms before it even came out, by the way, before Recall was even available. Kevin Beaumont's piece in Medium, stealing everything you've ever typed or viewed on your own Windows PC is now possible with 2 lines of code. This scared everybody so much, Microsoft said, okay, hold on, we won't release it yet. I think this was perhaps a little bit of a panic.
I almost wonder if it was an intentional attack. I mean, at the simplest level, you could say, hey, the security folks jumped on this and it became an easy win for clicks. Without, it wasn't in the wild. Nobody really knew anything about it. You'd only barely heard the description of it. You were able to get copies of the code. You misused it. Like, we never got anywhere. But I'm almost at the point now, because it was so odd how quickly folks came out against it. It was like, was this an intentional attack to derail Microsoft? Like, and it went nowhere, right? Like, other than it scared Microsoft, which did not present it well. That's true.
That was the real mistake, was they did not explain clearly enough. And when they came back and explained it, everybody said, oh,
well, whatever.
Okay.
and now it's out there for insiders,
right?
And no drama.
Yeah. So 6 months later, it came out. Mm-hmm. The way Microsoft did it was they rolled it out to insiders first only. They delayed it and then said we fixed it, and the messaging was really a mess, to be honest.
Yeah,
that's really
the only thing they fixed was the messaging. I don't think the product changed at all.
Yeah.
Well, and one of the things that I talked to you gentlemen on Windows Weekly about this every time I was on, the thing that really bothered me about this specifically was not even the company itself. It was the outside handling of the coverage of this technology, because of the fact that they were talking about something that literally was not available to every user yet. Yeah, it was not even available to anyone. Nope. And then even in the like small amount of testing that was being done internally, it was not the final result. And so
it felt like a lynching. Right.
It was just
ironically. I mean, we were just showing this limitless pin and the rewind.ai. I think people want the feature. And ironically, I think Paul Thurrott said this a couple of weeks ago on Windows Weekly. The recall that Microsoft is shipping, whether because of the security worries or whatever, is so hobbled. It's only on one computer at a time. Your desktop doesn't know what your laptop did.
No ability to share within your suite of machines. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it actually is much less useful. Mm-hmm.
Although it's the best compliment you can have for any product.
Scary and not useful.
But it's the best compliment for any product. They say, I want to use it more and in more places.
Right.
But you're right. The only people that were outraged back in June were the security people. Mm-hmm. Regular humans do not care. They just want the capability.
Right.
And I think that they didn't get the opportunity to really show what that could be. And that's what bothered me about it, is that, I understand you've got the security folks have to do their job of expressing concern and investigating it and researching it. Yes. But without the product actually existing. Right? Yeah, exactly. It absolutely was.
I think there's a different moral to extract from this, which is that people don't trust Microsoft.
Yeah.
They don't trust anybody. I mean,
but they might trust. I mean,
they could have headed the whole thing off with 6 words if they had started the press release with, you can choose to enable recall.
Right.
That was it. The messaging was so bad.
Well, that was a big change. That was on by default, and they changed it to off by default, right?
Right. And immediately if they had come in and said, oh, wait a minute, we think this is a great feature, you can turn it on if you'd like. But because it was automatically on and automatically downloaded with new versions of Windows 11 and going down, it became this, well, Microsoft's making a power grab. And they were so tone deaf to what people were giving them in feedback that they thought that this was an issue with, we shouldn't install it automatically. It's like, no. Just tell us what it is first. We had this conversation. I believe this was that week on TWiT, Leo, that we went back and forth about who likes it. And nobody on the panel liked it, not because of what it did, but because of how it was announced.
Yeah.
It was reminiscent of the old opt-in, opt-out controversies that we've had from time immemorial on the internet, which is tell me what you're going to do, and I'll choose whether or not I want to turn it on. And ultimately, that's why it's now a great feature. People will turn it on if they like it.
And I think the conflict of interest that Microsoft had was this was the only AI feature they had in a Copilot Plus PC.
Right.
Like
It was the only distinguishing
here was
feature.
to sell Copilot Plus PCs, and specifically the Snapdragon one. And so this was the thing that was going to get you to buy this new laptop, this ARM on Windows laptop, was Recall.
Yeah.
And with, again, no sense of what the customer actually wanted, no sense of how the customer actually wants it presented. Like, it was just a fail because they're really afraid of Windows on ARM failing again.
Hey, thank you for watching this little snippet from our big show, the News Roundtable, This Week in Tech. I'm Leo Laporte. Each week we cover the week's tech news, in-depth analysis, but it's also fun and engaging. You'll find it at twit.tv along with all of our shows. And if you want more, just hit the subscribe button, and we'll be sure to bring you a lot more great content. Thanks for listening.